Right.
Let's
We're
go.
live. No crazy intros today. Still Arian.
No more crazy intros. I know, ball, man. We're here. We've got the big one coming up this weekend, though, man.
13. Are we on Dirty 13?
12, man. I think it is something like that. I don't know, man. Yeah, whatever number it is, man. It's who gives a crap. Anyway, we're
It's a
here.
bigger
We're
number
live.
than the amount of points United have, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Well, first of all, Happy New Year, of course, to you. Happy New Year to everyone who's watching, whoever it is. It is January 3rd now, or 2nd? Yeah, 2nd, sorry.
Man.
And
how much do you have to drink?
Nothing, man. Nothing. I kept it really sober. I kept the family.
That was a test.
nothing, man. I'm trying to change my ways as well and get into a really good routine as well. So that's the main thing. But yeah, right now we have a lot to discuss. We've got the big game coming up in the weekend, man. It's I'm kind of dreading it as well at the same time. But man, Liverpool versus United, I can't.
Listen,
I mean,
you saw what we did to West Ham. 5-0.
Yeah, let's talk about the past games before. Yeah.
Absolutely pumped them, as was expected. I don't think West Ham were going to produce anything. United edging closer to that relegation zone. We're about to see Højlund do in the Championship. It's not looking good for you guys. I think, yeah.
Nah, do you know what it was? Yeah, like you could just see the contrast in games. That okay, away to West Ham, it's not always a good game for a lot of big teams, right? But okay, a lot of teams are right now beating West Ham, but United are the only team that are just struggling against them. Arsenal got 5 against them. You lot just completely hammered them. Man City as well at the start of the season, they destroyed them completely.
Pun, by the way.
Sorry?
I said that was a good pun.
Yeah. I appreciate that.
I have no idea what pun he just did. You said we hammered them.
Yeah. I know. I said that, I know. But yeah, overall, man, like just like that game as well, like you can see the players like they don't mind like waiting along with this, Okay, if it takes 30 minutes for us to score the first goal, it's gonna happen. But once you get the first goal, yeah, you just know that Liverpool are just gonna apply that pressure and it's almost insufferable. We've said this multiple times, it's insufferable pressure that Liverpool have in the way that their style is right now because they have every part of the pitch controlled. And even if they sit back and let you have the pressure on you, on them to, go at us and everything like that, they still have control over it because they just believe in their ability right now. And that's the beauty of winning because if Liverpool might have lost like a Carabao Cup or even like one of those Champions League fodder games away where you could put on a second string team, the confidence ain't going to be there with the team to go ahead and go in this run. Right now, they're just winning. It just breeds them. So whoever comes into that team is like, hey, listen, we won with that person. You better come in and step up as well. And this is the beauty of having that kind of culture as well. You got to win every single competition out there. Man City are relentless with that stuff as well over the years. Liverpool are just kind of doing the same thing right now with Slot. And man, it's a scary time, yeah, because obviously we're United and everything like that. And we'll discuss obviously a little bit more about the Newcastle one, but man, it's looking scary, obviously, in the weekend. But what's your opinion on Liverpool?
United, I mean, I think you're right. Liverpool's style of play is, like you said, it could go 30 minutes. We could go a whole half, 70 minutes. The way that the Liverpool fans see it and the way I think everyone sees it is we can stay patient. We produce enough chances. We keep attacking. We're consistent. Our heads don't drop. We're flying. We're not, doubting the team or getting insecure because we haven't scored in the first half an hour. We know it's coming. And we're dangerous and we're scoring. Last couple of games, we've scored a lot of goals. United on the complete opposite end of that spectrum. They're not playing very well. There's a lot of pressure already, despite, which I find weird, Amorim saying, listen, this is going to take time. It was never going to happen by Christmas or New Year anyway. You're never going to see a good style of football by this point, but he's doing a different tactic to Ten Hag. He's not adapting to the players. He's forcing their players to adapt to him. And that's just going to take time because you're not going to have the exact personnel you need. I think it's going to be a tough game for United, of course. I think it'll be a tough game for Liverpool because United will always be up play against Liverpool. And Amorim
I
has
don't see
beaten
it.
some big dogs this season already. Not in the Premier League, maybe, but he's beaten Pep. He beat Pep twice, as well as in the Champions League and the Premier League. I think he's a good manager, but it'll be tough for United to win that game.
Man, let's discuss a little bit about United right now. Yeah, everyone knows it's the players thing, right? But at the same time, you do have to give Amorim something as well. Like you're just a manager. You have to coach your way out of these kinds of situations as well. And first of all, picking that team against the Newcastle, I was embarrassed watching that game. I swear, in that first 35 minutes here, it was the most embarrassing I felt. You know, when you feel like just people are just watching you. It felt like people were just watching me, yeah, seeing that game, yeah, because I couldn't believe how open it was, how much we were getting stretched apart across, everything like that. Newcastle should have easily been 4-0 up, man. I mean, they hit the post, they had a few chances. Trippier was doing in swings for fun. Okay, he wanted to even test out Onana as well to try and score that bit. Man, it was embarrassing. And until we actually made that change with Xerxes, and by the way, that whole Xerxes situation, that was sad, but I feel like it needed to happen to change
Can I
up the
chime
game.
in on the Xerxes situation?
Yeah, go for it.
I feel like the football community, well, the Man United fan base has kind of gone overboard on this. I understand. So, for context, Xerxes gets subbed in like the 33rd minute, 35th, something like that.
Yeah.
Not playing well. Amorim drags him out of the game. The fans boo him as he's walking off to be subbed. Xerxes is clearly upset, puts his coat on, and he just walks out. Goes to the changing rooms or wherever he ends up to. Now, he eventually comes back on the field, all of this stuff. But the United fans post-game are saying this is disgraceful. Doesn't matter that you're paying to watch the game. All these things, you should never boo your own, all of that. I agree with never booing your own to a degree, but he has been playing awful, and it's not just him. It's not just he just happened to be the fall guy that day. He was the one that to sub someone within the first half is quite a big statement. That you're saying like you're playing so bad that we can't wait for things to potentially turn around. We have to hook you immediately. And just because he took Xerxes out of the game doesn't mean he was number one issue with that team, but he's one of many players who are not performing. I understand his transfer fee wasn't huge, but he came from Syria as this quite highly rated player. Okay, maybe not every club in the world wanted him, but he was like Syria Young Player of the Year or something like. He was
team of the season. Yeah,
he was getting accolades from Syria, and he deserved it. He took a weaker Syria team, and they went quite high up last season. But if your players are not playing good, if they're not showing drive, if they're coming into the start of the season looking overweight, let's not forget these guys get paid very handsomely to do what they do. Now, of course, no one should be abused, but in the same way, the fans have also paid a lot of money. They've given their time. The fans give a lot. No one likes to talk about that, because it's not what's going to get headlines. But fans pay a lot. They commit a lot. They're also wasting their time to go out there. They could be doing anything. I think if a fan feels like, listen, this player, this team isn't performing, why can't they boo them? I think it's such a strange reaction that the fans are calling out the other fans. I think you pay your hard-earned cash. You're paying extortionate fees to go and watch this team. If you're not happy with the performance, I feel like you should boo them. It's up to the player. Wear it on your chest. I haven't performed well. Next game, I'm gonna try my best. Or come out to the fans. Listen, I know it's not good enough. I'm trying my best. Have some patience with me. The player can also give his side of things. Fine. He's welcome to do that. But just to say, oh no, like we have to protect them, wrap them in bubble wrap. No, listen. You like to play in front of a crowd. You've got to deal with the crowd. Sometimes you play good. Sometimes you play bad.
Yeah.
It is.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think right now, because United fans love a scapegoat, right? Like, what were you trying to bring Mainu down as well a few weeks ago, saying, oh, is he the next one to be cooked after Rashford? Because Rashford FC's gone now. Now we're going to start going into Mainu and stuff like that. Before that, we had players like Pogba. Everyone loves a Bruno one as well. Everyone loves a Rashford one. Now it's like Xerxes. Oh, what like? And it's just like we always want to blame someone for it, but obviously from a play perspective and seeing that happen, like either this can start him up and turn him into a way better player and actually build up his confidence to the point where, okay, I'm never gonna see myself ever doing that again unless I get injured. Okay, because it is unacceptable for him to even go through that kind of period and go through that, obviously, that game as well. And obviously he's not been doing very well anyway. So there's criticism to be said about him anyways. But he needs to find himself and say, hey, listen, I need to get a lot more faster with this league because he has not adapted to the league properly. He's doing everything nonchalantly in terms of his style of play. So that's on him.
Xerxes plays football like he just woke up 5 minutes ago. Xerxes plays football like he smoked a zoot 5 minutes before.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
and he looks high when he's playing football. It's like,
yeah,
you have to. You know, there's no urgency there. And now listen,
yeah,
I don't think Xerxes is the biggest striking problem at United. I think Højlund is. If Xerxes is bad, Højlund is twofold. Højlund has had time out. Højlund misses chances. You know,
definitely.
Since he signed, he is terrible on a one-on-one. He can do this gladiator celebration. That's why everyone found it cringe, because you've scored like 2 goals in 2 seasons, mate. What are you doing celebrations for? Sort out your scoring issue and then maybe throw a few celebrations in there.
Sort out your positioning first, Højlund. You know, that's the thing. But
I think if Højlund got hooked instead of Xerxes, let's say, I think he also would have got booed. I think anyone who got pulled out at that moment would have been booed. It fell on Xerxes. Yeah. Xerxes is definitely not United's biggest problem, but he is a problem. You know, he's also a new striker. You know, you've just come into the team. You're trying to fight for your place. You've actually been given starts, and you're playing. Honestly, I give more of an effort in my Sunday kickabouts. I find it wild. Like, these people are paid a lot of money to do this. You know, let's not feel that sorry for them.
Yeah, no, I get it as well. You know, you have to be ruthless as well. But obviously, no one wants to see that for a player, especially like that. But he's also the only one who came in the summer and is still being talked about struggling to adapt into this style of play, or even the Man United way, or even just the Premier League in general. And it's like, we can kind of see now, okay, probably the wrong buy out of all of the 4 or 5 players that we bought. Okay, he probably is the one that doesn't fit Premier League system. If we can try to maybe, I don't know, do a swap deal or something like that. Again, this is where transfers kind of come along, but we don't know, of course. I think for himself, he probably wants to fight for the badge, and he probably wants to stay here and say, hey, I want to do something with United. But we have to also see if this is something that he can do long term, man. But in terms of obviously the game with Newcastle, everything like that, like, listen, we're just in a bad run of games, man. I think we've got 4 losses in a row, something like that, since that City game. It's not looking good at all. Like, I don't know where the next win comes. I don't even know when the next goal comes. That's how sad it is as well.
I think United's problem is, again, I constantly go back to this point. When Amorim first signed, he said it's going to take time. It will not be done this season.
Yeah.
Again, it goes in one ear, comes out the other for fans. I think the worst thing that could have happened is United being Man City, if I'm being honest, because now they have these crazy expectations. We've beaten City all of a sudden. They think they're a team that should win every week. You know, you're not that team yet. You're never going to be that team. This is not an Amorim issue. You've brought in Amorim because you believe in his project. He has a certain style of play. He's not going to implement that in 6 weeks. You know, it's not going to happen. It's going to need time. This season has to be written off. This is just a training ground. This is a trial period for the squad.
Pre-season.
Who's good enough? Who's not good enough? You've already seen Malacia definitely can't stay around. Rashford can't stay around. Garnacho can't stay around. Players are making themselves obvious who can't be there. Even Bruno. 3 red cards at this point, like we spoke about last episode, is insane. Okay. I don't think Bruno will be ditched out because there's a long list of players who should go before him, but players are making themselves known that I shouldn't be around. You know, Casemiro. But again, Amorim started Casemiro. Why? Casemiro is not. I don't know what's happened to him. He's not interested. He's not playing good football. He doesn't care. He's on 300 grand a week. This is his retirement package, and you'll go play in Saudi Arabia probably next.
That decision as well. Casemiro and Eriksen against Tonali, Joe Linton, and Bruno Guimaraes. That has got to be one of the most criminal decisions. Like, that is some Ten Hag stuff right there. And listen, we don't have the players or personnel to do that. We lost Ugarte. We don't have Bruno for this game. Mainu probably looking a little bit leggy, but he obviously recognized it very fast. Let me put Mainu on, of course. But man, was that was lambs to the slaughter situation, man. That was terrible. Just seeing those. I felt embarrassed just watching it for Eriksen and Casemiro. Again, that was terrible to watch. But you know what? You're right about obviously in the thing. I don't know. I'm gonna make this reference as well. With Man United. You've ever watched Godfather, right? In Godfather, yeah. There's a scene called the Baptism of Fire, and it's when Michael basically tries to take over and he kills all of the head of the families. This is what we got to do. We got to kill all these heads off. I'm talking get rid of. I'm talking like execution style, shoot them in the head kind of situation. Because these players, as much as I like some of them, like I like Casemiro and all those kinds of players, and Eriksen as well, but a lot of them just need to F off as soon as possible. And I wish it was this this January transfer window, but we know that's unrealistic. We know we won't get that, of course. But if we can at least see maybe 1 or 2 leave, and then also bring in 1 or 2, even if it's on a loan thing, like if we can just get wing backs and a midfielder, that's fine for me. We'll sort everything else in the summer as well. Go ahead and get a striker in, or get a cam position. Go ahead and get another centre back, all those kinds of things. But like right now, we just kind of need to, especially the wing. For me, the wing backs is like priority to buy, because I cannot see another game with Dalot having all the space in the world against Trent and not doing anything, just doing a cutback. Because that's probably the only place where we'll probably get a really big chance from against Liverpool, where you're just going to see acres of space on that right side, but nothing's going to happen from that. But I am so out of confidence with Manchester United right now.
The problem, this is the thing, right? I think this is why I've never understood why managers go to Man United. Well, I get it, because they pay them a shit ton of money, and they'll probably be sacked within 6 months, so it's a great payout for them. But outside of that, I just don't know why these managers go there. It's such a hard job. It's like when Lampard returned to Chelsea. Why would you go then? You either got to be deluded or arrogant. You're not going to fix that problem, because the problem with United isn't just the players, and the players are a massive problem. One, there's so many of them. It's who'd you get rid of first? 2, they're on crazy wages, so they personally also don't want to leave, because who's paying them that money outside of Man United? And then once you get past the players and maybe the staff, upstairs is chaos as well. You got guys canceling Christmas parties, the old place from the 60s and 70s and 80s, wherever they're getting their pension payments cut. All sorts of madness is happening. So it's filling the club with this negativity, this black cloud. It's feeling toxic at United. So where do you start? There's just fires everywhere. Which one do you put out first? You put out this one, another 3 come up.
Again, man, like I don't know, like a lot of people want to be the savior, and we're meant to have the owners, Ineos coming in, but I think a lot of them are like, a lot of fans are kind of saying like Ineos out now right now, and listen, I was never Ineos in as well. I told them, like, I was like, I wanted them out from day one. I was like, my allegiance to United kind of died as soon as they signed in. I was a little bit more optimistic when I saw some of the personnel coming in and saying structure. But I still said, no, these people are still snakes, because you don't do a deal with the Glazers, who you wanted out, and you're a Man United fan, and you can see that they're obviously the cancer of the of the club right now. But then I have also this hope here that I see in 2025 that potentially there might be another takeover or another big sale coming up from United as a club, where we could actually get bought out for 100%. That's kind of died down. I don't know if it's going to speed up in the next few months, or if it's actually going to happen or anything like that, but it's scary times for United right now. And with the direction that we're at right now, the only hope in my side is literally Amarim. Amarim is literally the only hope, because I believe in the system. If we can just buy decent enough players, and if you can create a team from Sporting, I'm sure you can create a team with United as well. You can just go ahead and find that small amounts of quality out there to make it work. But people are even right now discussing about relegation, man, and getting these owners and getting the whole club to reset. Listen, I'll say it right now, relegation does sound beautiful to me, because if it meant like a complete reset, then that's fine. But again, with relegations and stuff like that, what can happen is, it could be so much cost, that we have. Apparently, we don't even have relegation clauses out there for this stuff. And then also,
if United got relegated, it would be a disaster. First of all, there's no guarantee you come up. If you get stuck in that league, you're finished.
Exactly, and then we could end up becoming like a Leeds or doing something like that. Even Nottingham Forest, which took them so long to get back up. there's so many clubs out there that have just died there, and even they've even gone down to League One and League Two. Man, some of them have capitulated down, like Blackpool. They came up once, they came down. These things can happen. Bolton, we haven't seen Bolton in so long, man. Like Portsmouth, remember, like
these in the Championship anymore,
bro. Trust me, these are legendary clubs that we all remember. Blackburn, all day. So I mean, obviously
Blackburn,
United is much.
Blackburn, Premier League winning team. You don't see them around anymore.
Listen, United is much bigger. Yeah.
This relegation talk,
it's nonsense. Yeah, it's nonsense.
It's nonsense because for them to get relegated, they'd have to, let's see, Ipswich on 15 points, United on 22. That's a 7-point gap. United have to drop 7 points, and Ipswich have to keep winning. At that point, they're only level. Like Ipswich has to win every game to catch them. It's not. Relegation's out the picture. But
it's not going to happen, right? Amarim is too good.
United fans have to ignore where they finish. I think focus on the players who seem to be caring, seem to be trying and making an effort, even if they play bad. You got players like Dalot who don't play good, but clearly are trying. I think Xerxes is also one of those players. I think because I watched him. It wasn't against Newcastle. It was the game before. I think it was an away game, and he gets brought on and he presses. But the problem is him pressing on his own.
Yeah, City game. Yeah.
He was pressing this player, that player, but no one was helping him. I personally think Xerxes can turn it around. I don't know if he's United's main striker. I think he's definitely a backup option.
Yeah.
But first of all, Amarim's got to have some time to clear out this team. I think you're right. There's needs to be an exodus. Chelsea style. I can't see that happening, but that surely gives them the best chance. There's massive rumors like Gyökeres will be joining in Jan. I think sure, that's a good signing. But he's coming into a terrible environment, a terrible squad, and he's going to be expected to perform from day one. And I just don't think he will. I think once Amarim has some time, maybe he will do well. But I think off the bat, no way. He's just going to get killed as soon as he joins. He doesn't have the personnel behind him. You have Bruno, who's just not on it. Behind that, Casemiro, Eriksen. They're not going to do anything. Mainu's off the mark. I don't understand Mainu's criticism. He's a kid, He's still learning the game. Like, let's not beat up on the one bright spark of United,
Yeah. Focus on the wrong area
of any sort of success. Let's not turn him off from United. He's very easily could go somewhere else.
Yeah. No, again, focusing on the wrong areas. It's because we don't see all the crap players playing right now yet. So we go at the players who are actually on the pitch helping us lose. That's the main thing. But you're right about all that stuff about, trying to make the changes and stuff like that. And listen, Gyökeres, I don't think he's going to go. I think he's going to go in the summer. He probably already made that commitment with the club as well, to unless there's a crazy offer that someone has to put up. Yeah, but yeah, that's another thing. But going obviously to this weekend, man, I have no confidence. I have, in the last 5-6 years, when we go to Liverpool and Anfield, we've taken 2 draws, 0-0 draws. In fact, one of them we should have won against you guys in the pandemic. We should have beaten you lot by 1 goal, but again, 0-0 draws. From that, it's just been 7-0, 4-0, like lambs to the slaughter situation. Again, it's terrible for us, man. I never feel confident going to Anfield, but
put it like this, right? If I was to take a shot for every goal Liverpool scored against United this week, I'd be in a hospital bed, I think. That's how I see it going.
Oh man, we should do that.
Catastrophic for my body if I did that. I'm gonna walk over United. You guys are shit right now. No one, your fans aren't behind you. Your players aren't behind you. Your manager is probably thinking, "What on earth have I done coming here?" I can't see United do anything. They're too much of a mess right now. I'm going with a 6-0 win.
6-0. Wow, you have given us. Do you know what? Yeah, you're probably right.
I'm seeing Trent play some Matrix level assists.
Yeah.
Salah is firing. Our whole midfield is just. Diaz is starting to score again. You guys don't stand a chance.
Listen, you lot are gonna be roaring. Like you know that first big chance.
We smell the blood. We smell the blood.
It's gonna be blood. Yeah, the same way it happened against Man City. I think it's good because everyone knows when United come around to Anfield, its tensions go way higher. It's probably it's the Champions League final for you. You guys could be hosting a Real Madrid. It doesn't matter. United is the one where you guys want to see in the final or something like that. Yeah, where this is going to be like that. You guys are going to see like, hey, listen, kill these fuckers. Just group everything about them. It's going to be sad, man. But I'm going to go with a 4-0 loss to United in that game. I think 6-0. Yeah, I don't want to see anything past the 5 goals. 4-0. I'll take a 4-0 L. It'll be embarrassing, but hey.
Oh, how the mighty have fallen.
Man, it's sad, man. I don't see any hope in us, man. Especially what's Højlund going to do against Van Dijk right now? Van Dijk's not even looking leggy in this period right now, man. And you've got against Højlund.
Højlund's a terrible striker. I think Højlund has shown he's not cut out for this. He needs to go. Go back to Italy. You cannot play football here. You're not built. You couldn't even. There's no point in Højlund even staying in England, you know, because what are you going to do? Sign for a mid-table, lower-end table team? You can't score at United, let alone anywhere else.
Well, let's not give this guy time, man. He's a waste of time, anyways, man. Screw it, man. Listen, it's just going to be a big.
In my personal opinion, right? If I was the owner of Manchester United, I think there's a certain legend you can always call upon. He's been there for United when they've needed him. As a player, I think now is the time to bring him in as a manager. I think Wayne Rooney is the guy. Recently sacked again with his record of 20% win rate across the clubs, except Birmingham, where he got a fantastic 16% win rate. I think he could be the guy, you know. Player manager, you know. Like Højlund's not playing, he puts himself in there.
Bro, one more thing, yeah, because I love Wayne Rooney. He's my favorite Man United player of all time, yeah. Listen, stop managing, all right? It is a public service announcement, yeah. Stop managing. Go on the boozer. You have a lovely family, of course, right?
It looks like he's been on the boozer, don't you worry.
Yeah, just do that, man. Like, you have nothing else to do. Like, you put your career aside over it. You don't need management. You don't need to be doing, you know, all this corporate. Like, go ahead and be that guy who can go in and fuck around with streamers like, you know, Angry Ginge and playing all that stuff and drinking and then going out into someone's, you know, house at like the middle of the night or whatever, man. Like, go ahead and just go ahead and be on that stuff right now. You don't need to do anything else here. I don't know what he's trying to prove at being a manager. Like, you're not a good manager, bro. We've tried this out, what, 2-3 times? What's
hilarious about him is he's got a family, right? Fairly young family.
Yeah.
What happened to his kids? These guys changing jobs every 3 weeks.
No. His kids, because I think, well, obviously Kaya, he's in the United youth, yeah, like 15 years old. He's looking proper talented. He's got 4 boys in it, so they're all like going to be like.
Yeah, but Wayne Rooney can't drive up to Manchester after managing Plymouth Argyle, you know. Like, he's got to live there.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Listen, this class of 92 or whatever the hell you guys were called, every single one has been an atrocious bum manager. Let's get this straight. United had amazing players, but even Sir Alex Ferguson, as great as he was, his tactics was just go out and play, lads. Yeah, just show them with Manchester United. That was the tactics. There was no tactics, and it's showing because these players are managing teams thinking they can do the same thing. Gary Neville, mess. Roy Keane, mess. Who else do we have? Wayne Rooney, mess. Paul Scholes, mess.
Oh man, listen, the whole
club about Ryan Giggs. You know, Ryan Giggs. He probably should have stayed in football instead of doing his extra curricular activities. Yeah.
No. Ryan Giggs, I don't even know what he's doing now. He was meant to go into management as well. Listen, half these lot, yeah, they grew up in the era of boozing and everything like that. And it's like, okay, you had the great management, the manager, everything like that. Some of them should have been done better. Like, go ahead and be a Michael Carrick right now. Michael Carrick's doing okay for himself, okay? Like, at least he's trying to. He's at Middlesbrough. He's right now. Obviously, he's battling for.
He's still there. Wow.
Yeah, he's been there for. He had a very rocky. He had the first good season, rocky second season. Now he's doing stable, but learn your traits from that, you know. But hey, listen, some of these guys, they're not just cut out for the people skills, innit? They can only be around their community. Like, if you have a player like Scholes and especially if you're these like one club legends, right? 90% of the time, yeah, you're bound to fail even more because you only know one system, you only know one lifestyle. So they
had one manager their whole career.
One manager the whole career. Yeah, that's the only way.
Different system, you know. All these guys, all you can say, but they played for England. Yeah, they played for England, but they played for England as if they were still at Man United. They didn't even sit at the same table as each other.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's None of these guys are cut. Go ahead and do your overlaps and stuff like that. That's the best thing that you guys can do right now. Just producing whatever content and
what ex-United players are good at is getting on TV and talking absolute shit.
Yeah. Well, Roy Keane as well sometimes, but I do love Roy Keane a lot more than a lot of other pundits compared to them. But yeah. Anyways, man, let's move away from that. 4-0, 6-0, doesn't matter. It's going to be a spanking anyways.
Let's just quickly touch up on Spurs. Yeah. So I was unfortunate enough to be at the Spurs Wolves game. I don't know what I did wrong, but someone gave me tickets and I ended up at the Wolves game at Tottenham Stadium. I was like, fucking hell, man. I've really gone left in my life to end up here for the second time this season. Jesus. Can I just say, Spurs, if you support Spurs, why? Second, they are the most garbage team I've ever laid my eyes on. I can't believe people waste their time to go watch that. I can't believe there's fathers, out there. They work hard all week. They don't see their kids because they go and watch Tottenham. They spend the holiday allowance to go watch Spurs home and away. Get a grip, man. Grow up. Trash. Moving on. There's no more to say about Spurs.
Newcastle are winning that game. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that. Yeah, because we can't be asked to speak about them. Newcastle win that game. Right?
Heung-min Son. How many Koreans I saw in that stadium? They came just for you. The performance he put on. Oh my god! I was like, is this Son or is this like did they drag someone from the stands or something? What's going on? He was awful. But Ange as well, I couldn't understand. As bad as Son played, Son was just non-existent in that game. Timo Werner has to be the worst player I've ever laid eyes on. That guy is terrible. He can't run. He can't dribble in a straight line. He can't dribble around the player. He can't make a simple pass. He can't defend. He can't head. He can't shoot. He can. I'm pretty sure if you look at his boots, he doesn't have the lace-up boots. He can probably not do that. He's got the ones you just slip on. You got to make his life easy. That guy is absolute cheeks.
Oh man, listen, I can't be asked to speak about Spurs. They still don't have their centre backs back against Isaac and against that midfield as well. Roadrunners. Listen, what they did to us, they're gonna do the same thing to you lot. Yeah, so
they're gonna get bullied.
Yeah,
they're gonna get bullied. Relegation zone Wolves playing tiki taka at Spurs, holding the ball for 5-10 minutes straight. Listen, they were very lucky Cunha got injured at halftime because he was running the show. He was absolutely running the show there. But anyway, Spurs is Spurs. Nothing new. Let's move on.
Yeah. 2-1 or 3-1. 3-1 Newcastle, I'm going to say that.
Spurs 3-0.
Lost.
Lost.
Yeah, let's speak obviously about Chelsea a little bit, man, because they're in a bad run of games. We obviously have a good friend of ours who's a big Chelsea fan as well. But, losing against Ipswich, man, that's, first of all, disaster class with the Sarsi, man. That guy, obviously, he's going to get cooked up. Like, I'm seeing so many memes around them, but what an embarrassing
What did I say? I said, listen, all this title run talk, maybe, but also they haven't been winning for a long time. They've only just started to win games. It can also go south. They can also just lose the next 3 games. I said this. It's documented in the last few episodes. And this is what's happening. Chelsea is still too unknown. They're only starting to find their feet. Listen, do I think they're a terrible team? No, I don't think they're a terrible team, but they're still only just getting to grips.
Right.
It was a bad loss. They shouldn't lose to Ipswich, but they're in a bad run of form. They'll turn it around. They've got decent enough players. But all this talk about players being tired. You have like 73 players in your squad. What do you mean tired? Rotate the squad, man.
No. That's the thing is that they have been rotating. But this is like the first time where you've seen Palmer, Enzo, Caicedo, all those, and not even Caicedo. Caicedo is actually the one who's actually running a lot anyways, but like Jackson and all the main players that they have already, they're all starting to get tired under this. So I don't know if it's something to do with the training or if it's something to do with, if it's something to do with how they're setting up for the games or if they actually like have the momentum or even themselves, physically, because you shouldn't be so fatigued like that, especially if you haven't break up in between that anyways. Like Cole Palmer, listen, you're not even playing none of these thing games. The League Cup, you guys got knocked out of Newcastle. Conference League, you haven't played a game, so you should be ready to go for these games.
Also, if you're planning to be a top 4 team or team challenging for the title, you're gonna have to play just as many games, if not more, and you're gonna be playing against much tougher opposition. You know, you're not going to be playing
Exactly.
against Azerbaijani farmers. Like, you're going to be playing some serious teams.
Yeah. It's all good for you playing once a week, and just waiting for that.
They have a big squad, you know.
Yeah.
Well, exactly, because if you look at the wingers, you know, every single winger was bought as a starting player. You have Madueke, Pedro Neto, Palmer was a winger until he wasn't.
Sancho.
You have Sancho.
Neto.
You had Mudryk.
Neto.
You know, they like you have players there. You know, same for centre mid, same for striker, same for. You know, they have players. You got to rotate, and Maresca also makes almost no substitutions during a game. He makes 2 subs a game. You got 5 available.
Go for it, man.
Rotate them.
Yeah. Do something like a 53rd minute or something like that. Even just like make it change at half time. You're already losing the game, and then you go ahead and wait another 10 minutes, and then bang, you're 2-0 down. Okay, Amari Hutchinson gets that goal. Like, come on, fix something up as well. Fatigue cannot. I can't stand it. If he's telling me fatigue, no, I'm not taking. Especially from Chelsea, I'm not taking them seriously because you're seeing players like in Liverpool, being no rotation there, just constantly playing.
Van Dijk's played every single game since he joined Liverpool. When did you ever see Van Dijk rotated out? When have you seen Salah rotated out? These players don't get rotated. When you're a top level player, you don't get rotated. You play every single game. Lionel Messi, Ronaldo, these are the best players in the world. They never didn't play. Let's talk about Palmer being this amazing player from Chelsea fans. He plays 2-3 games in a week, and all of a sudden, you know, we've got to cry for him, right? This is what top players do.
And it's not like he's not being in more demanding. Like Salah's in a way more demanding position than Palmer is, and he's doing 10 times more. And he's also not feeling like blaming anything on the team.
He's much older.
Yeah, and he's much older. Again, this comes down to, you know, how you're preparing yourself in terms of games. So miss me out with fatigue anyways. But Chelsea, obviously, they've got a big game coming up against Crystal Palace. They need the win. They need to get something back onto themselves, because obviously right now it's like, okay, it's a top 4 race thing, but we could be sliding down. Listen, things are unforgivable. This league is anyway shit. Like Man City, the fact they're still like 5th or 6th around, with only 2 wins in like the last 13 is insane to me right now. So Chelsea, they could go on another 3-4 losing streak, and they'll still be in a decent position anyways. But because no one will capitalize it. Like who's going to capitalize it? Brentford? Fuck off. They're not going to do nothing. So Chelsea, they got Crystal Palace away. Yeah, Crystal Palace is a hard game. So I'm going to go with. I think they're still going to lose though. I'm going to go for 2-1 Crystal Palace, just because it's a London derby.
Palace are away, right?
No, Palace are at home.
Palace are at home. Oh.
Yeah, Chelsea go 3 p.m. kickoff. So
it's a similar type of environment to Ipswich. That cauldron environment. I think Chelsea to win away at Palace is going to be tough. I'm going to go with
Chelsea do well at Palace.
I'm going to go with
you draw.
I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw.
1-1. Okay. I'm going to go for 2-1 for Crystal Palace. I mean, the fans are just going to push them in that last bit. You got Mateta and stuff like that. And if you're telling me fatigue, fatigue's got to stop somewhere. So they probably need that 2 week after. I think they have like Barrow in the cup. So after this game, they're probably going to rest up all the main players and everything like that for 2 weeks.
Thing is, and then everyone has lots of games. Liverpool have a game every 2-3 days.
Yeah, exactly.
7 games,
you
have to deal with.
Yeah.
You don't want to play this many games? Don't finish high in the table. Simple.
Yeah. Well, don't be competing for all these. Well, he doesn't want to.
Remember Arsenal a few seasons ago? They finally hit the Champions League with Arteta. Oh, there's so many games. That's why we didn't win. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Shut up, man. Exactly. Just shut up. Yeah.
To wrap this up, Pep finally got his first win. Nice to see Boldy finally secure win. You think the next game is against West Ham now? Listen, I've been suffering. I've got Haaland captain since this streak started in my fantasy football league. I don't really care if City win or lose, because they're not going to beat us for the title anymore. But I need Haaland to start scoring some goals, because I'm suffering in my league.
I don't know where you're at right now. Change your squad up, man. You probably have 8 substitutes. I mean, 8 swaps you can do right now. Yeah,
I think you need the wild card button. The amount of transfers are rocked up.
Yeah, you probably lost as well, 2 mil out of Haaland's stocks, man. Right now,
his value has tanked. That's the thing. It's not worth to sell him at this point. I may as well just wait until he starts scoring again. Oh, wait, a long time, bro.
I saw the writing on the wall with them, so I was like, okay, let me just get rid of Haaland. But I picked the wrong player as well. I picked Jackson instead of Isak, man. And I was like, I suffered with that one. Then I got rid of Cunha, and then I had put João Pedro in as well.
Chelsea it's like going all in on Bitcoin. It's like you put your savings in Bitcoin. Okay, it's flying right now, but there's no guarantee it's going to be flying tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's how I saw Chelsea. That's how I see their players as well. Like, yeah, they're flying now, but how long are they going to be flying for? Probably not forever, you know. Like, they'll probably drop tomorrow.
But yeah,
what's happening.
Man City, I'm gonna go with. I think Man City are gonna win 2-1. You know, they can't go in this.
Yeah, I think West Ham are shocking. Lopetegui ain't got a fucking clue, man.
Yeah. I think that might be the end of Lopetegui as well. I think it's time for that brother to leave, man.
It's insane that West Ham have stuck with him for so long, but yeah, I mean, I could see this being an absolute thrashing by City. I think 3-0. As bad as City have been, they still have Haaland up top. You know, you just got to feed him. And West Ham are absolutely atrocious. They are terrible.
And I think also this period as well, like Man City haven't played for like a week now, kind of refreshed them. They're going to be back at home. It's going to be like, okay.
Yeah, you got to win a bit more energy. I mean, I know we said this about them when they beat Forest, but it's also West Ham, where they're terrible. Teams like West Ham, there should be a fan vote. If you get 95% of the vote saying you should be relegated, that team should go. Just send them down, put the next whoever's first in the championship, just bring them up. They start on West Ham's points. We don't want to watch this shit, man.
Fan vote as well, to be honest.
Tell me that's not a good idea.
Hey, I wish, man. I wish that if there was a fan vote, listen, United would be up there as well. We'd be up there as well.
No, but this would be a great incentive, and Arsenal would go if this was the case. Any team who plays terrible football would just be voted out of the league.
Yeah, but it has to be based on football. Well, United will be there, West Ham, and then probably something like Southampton as well, because fuck them, with their.
You know, if you're playing.
No. Arsenal as well, but West Ham playing from the back, fuck them, man. These lot.
That's the thing. No one puts the TV on, sees West Ham playing and stays on. You know, you go off and like do some gardening or something. Like, listen, I got better things to do than watch these guys.
Yeah.
But you know what cracks me up about West Ham? I really find it hilarious. They're getting piped 5-0 at home, and these lot are singing about bubbles. Oh my God.
Let's wrap it up, man.
We're talking nonsense now.
Take care, everyone. Take care.